Donald Trump's trial over the fake crime of hush money is underway today. I mean, even the DOJ and the Election Commission said there was no crime here, but you have a witch hunt from corrupt Democrats. However, there is one juror that could change the outcome of this entire thing and would possibly prevent a conviction before there's going to be the election. And of course, there's always appeals. We're going to hop into what that means and talk about that juror. But before that, let's talk about how corrupt this judge is being. So he seated a juror who was arrested for destroying or vandalizing conservative political signs. Those are the allegations being reported by Fox.
That this has to do with something that very well could have been the fact that this juror may have been arrested back in the 1990s conducting some type of political vandalism against something, posters on the right, and it was not revealed, or he did not remember it and did not include it, and that is why that juror has been dismissed.
Wow, he forgot to mention that he had damaged some political signs from the right. Here's another sign of corruption. They're going to shut the trial down early, the judge, so alternative jurors can see a dentist, the alternative juror. But the same judge won't allow President Trump to attend his son's graduation. They're literally acting like we're not in a civil society, and they're just treating Trump as bad as possible. I mean, they say the process is the punishment, and they're definitely making that true for Trump. They don't want him to campaign. They don't want him to have free time. They want him to be just completely occupied and distracted so he doesn't win. But it's helping him in the polls the more he's persecuted. So here's one of the insane jurors that was dismissed. Listen to her. Listen to this woman.
Can you share your opinion of the former president and why you felt that you could be unbiased?
I'm not a fan. During COVID-19, I lived with someone who was immunocompromised, and I think his handling of COVID-19 was abysmal.
More people have died under the current administration from COVID than the previous administration.
I have a sister who is adopted from China, and the comments he made about China when he was running for president made her very anxious and therefore made me angry. There are policies he has supported that regard women and reproductive health that I do not agree with. And I think all of that needs to be addressed.
Can you share your...
So she just basically does not like Trump at all. So thankfully she was dismissed, but how many people on the jury have these opinions but are holding these opinions quiet, that are not saying what they think out loud? And, you know, even the left, MSNBC, is saying this is kind of strange for this many jurors to be dismissed this early.
I think juror attrition could be a real problem in this case. I mean, just do the math. Last week, we lost 2 jurors before the trial even began. When you think about it, you do lose jurors during a trial. I've lost them. They fell asleep. They don't follow the judge's orders. But you don't normally lose a juror after the moment they're selected and between that and the time that the trial actually begins, because ordinarily nothing happens during that time. But in this case, you have an example where a juror goes home, they start really thinking about their duty and what this is going to entail, and they come back and say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. By the way, that's also something that happens from time to time. I've had it in organized crime cases. You have jurors who come up to the judge and say, I'll do anything, please. I do not want to be on this jury. I'm afraid. That's not obviously the same situation here, but you do have jurors who are going to have second thoughts. And the question becomes, will 6 alternates be enough to cover this trial? I hope so. But if what we've seen so far, if that's the rate of loss of jurors, 2 or before we even...
I think we're going to find that some of these jurors are not impartial, and who knows, they even more might be replaced But juror number 2 could be the potential for a hung jury and a mistrial, which means the prosecutor has the opportunity to start a new trial with a new jury. But juror number 2 is an investment banker, married with no kids, follows Trump on Truth Social and Michael Cohen on X, and he read The Art of the Deal. Now, of course, there's no guarantee that this guy is a Trump supporter, but I've seen very, very, very few people politically on the left using Truth Social. Now, there's a lot more who uses X, but for the most part, X now is trending conservative. I mean, there's essentially 2 echo chambers on the right and on the left, and sometimes they cross on X, but it seems like there's more engagement on the right. So if you were just thinking of probability, this guy, this investment banker, I believe it's a man, is conservative. And he could just say, no, I'm not going to be a part of a unanimous agreement that Trump committed a fake crime. And that could be a hung jury and a mistrial and prevent anything from happening before the election. Let's hope that's the case. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, I'm David with Americans for Limited Government. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, follow, comment below. Let us know what you think. We'll be back with more soon.